as everyone had an issue with this particular problem on the test, so I'm just going to redo this. So just please check this particular problem. Point S is a centroid of triangle PQR. Use the given information to find the value of x. Okay. So first of all, the centroid is nothing but it's a point such that its distance from vertices is two-third the distance from two-third of UR. Okay. This SR is going to be two-third of UR, US is going to be one-third of UR. Same way, TS is going to be one-third of TQ, SQ is going to be two-third of TQ, SV is going to be one-third of PV, and PS is going to be two-third of PV. So these were the properties of the centroid which we had. So I'll just write out that and we will substitute these things and try to solve. So first of all, we had for QS and QT, where QS and QT is located here, the relationship between QS and QT is such that QS is going to be two-third of QT, which means the length of the segment from centroid to vertex is going to be two-third of the total segment that it is on. So QS is going to be two-third of QT. Substitute and then you can solve for x for the first one. There are three parts. So QS here is 3x plus 5 equals two-third of QT is 4x plus 11. Further multiply by 3 on both sides so that these 3 will get crossed out. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 5 is 15. And you have 2 times 4x, which is 8x. And 2 times 11 is 22. Subtract 8x from both sides and subtract 15. So that gives us x equals 7. Okay, this problem was based on property of centroid. So same way you can try these two on your review later. Okay, just doing one part. Then let's see the next problem. Not going to solve all. Is it possible to build a triangle with side lengths 3, 5, 7? Explain. The sum of two sides should always be greater than the third side. That's the property. Sum of two sides is always greater than the third side. So therefore here we have to just check for that. 3 plus 5 is greater than 7. Yes, that's true. 8 is greater than 7. Then next 5 plus 7 is greater than 3. That is also true. And the last combination that we are left is 7 plus 3 is greater than 5. Yes, that is also true because 7 plus 3 is 10 and 10 is greater than 5, and you can say yes. Okay, you can try this. Okay, and after this, I've done this one for you. Triangle ABC has sides 5, 7 and 2x minus 2. Describe the possible values of x. I'll do this one also for you. So if a triangle ABC has these sides, so these are they want us to get the possible values of, describe the possible values of x. So from this particular equation we'll get some inequality, right? So we should have These are the possibilities. 5 plus 7 is greater than 2x minus 2, and 5 plus 2x minus 2 is greater than 7. Let's first simplify these two equations and we will go to the third equation in a while. 5 plus 7 is 12. So 12 is greater than 2x minus 2. Add 2 to the both sides. So you'll get 14 is greater than 2x. Then divide by 2 on both sides. So you'll get 7 is greater than x. So this gives us x should be less than 7. 7 is greater than x, it means x should be less than 7. This is inequality that you get from the sum of two sides is greater than the third side. Sum of the two sides of a triangle is greater than the third side. Same way we take the other two sides. 5 plus 2x minus 2 is greater than 7. So here I have 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2x is greater than 7. Subtract 3. So I'll have 2x is greater than 4. Further divide by 2 on both sides to get x is greater than 2. Okay, let's see the other possibility. We took 5 plus 7, we took 5 plus 2x minus 2. And the other possibility is 7 plus 2x minus 2. So you have 7 plus 2x minus 2 is greater than 5. 7 minus 2 is 5. And you have 5 plus 2x greater than 5. Then subtract 5 on both sides. You'll get 2x is greater than 0. And divide by 2 on both sides. You'll get x is greater than 0. A number greater than 0 and number greater than 2. So the equation should be such that it satisfies both. Any number greater than 2 will automatically be greater than 0. So therefore of these two, I can consider final answer of these two is x is greater than 2. Okay. And this is in the other direction, x is less than 7. So our final answer over here should be such that of these two, it's in the direction 2. And then you have a x which is greater than 2 and the x value is less than 7. So this should be your final answer for this particular problem. If you have any questions, I'm just going to check chat and see. Okay, geometric mean is nothing but the product and then you take a square root. Geometric mean was square root of 9 times 12, so which gives us 10.39. Now let's see a few more problems here. Find the length and width of the rectangle if rectangle have a ratio of 7:4. The perimeter of rectangle is 132. So if I have a rectangle such that they are in the ratios of 7:4, which means 7x, and let me keep it as 4x because I don't know exactly what is the scale factor with which I have to multiply or a factor with which I have to multiply so that I get the actual length. But the factor that I multiply is the same number. But I have the perimeter. Perimeter is sum of all the four sides. So if it's a rectangle, so this also will be 4x and this is also 7x. So you'll have 7x plus 7x plus 4x equals 132, and then you're solving for x. Okay. 7x plus 7x is 14, 14 plus 4 is 18, 18 plus 4 is 22. So 22x equals 132, and 132 divided by 22 is nothing but 6. So you'll have x equals 6. You got x equals 6. That's not the final answer. They want the area. Area is nothing but length times width. So which here the length is 7x. So 7 times 6 is nothing but 42. So length is 42. And width is 4 times 6, which is 24. And if you multiply 42 times 24, that gives us the area of 1008. So area equals 1008 square units. They have not given any units, so I'm just writing 1008 square units. Okay, I'll do couple of more problems on this particular section. Okay, let me do this one. Find the scale factor of a quadrilateral BCDE to WXYZ. From this is your A and this is your B. Figure A to figure B. If you are moving from this to this figure, what is the scale factor they're asking? And further they're asking find the scale factor of quadrilateral WXYZ to BCDE. From here till here also they want. And they have given if they are asking a scale factor, it means these two are going to be similar. Okay. If these two are going to be a similar trapezium, then the side which corresponds to BC is XW. So scale factor, okay, for the first one BCDE to WXYZ is nothing but you pick up the one which is on the second quadrilateral, the side which is XY, and divide by the corresponding side in BCDE. The corresponding side is BC. So which is nothing but 6 divided by 4. And that gives us the scale factor for the first one, which is 1.5. Okay, rest of the things I want you all to try. This is also same way, simple, but it's in the reverse direction. Then once you have the scale factor, you should be able to find XY, because XY is similar to CD. You have the scale factor, so you should be able to find XY. And angle C they are asking. Angle C is going to be congruent to angle X, because the angles have to be congruent for them to be similar. Okay. And later on you can find the perimeter of quadrilateral also. Okay, these I am leaving for you all to work. Let's see. Okay, before I see problems, I just will check your chat if there is any particular problem that you want me to solve. Okay, find the coordinates of the centroid of triangle STU. I'll do one more problem with regards to centroid, which a majority of you had difficulty, and then I'll give you time to work independently. So let's see, let me call this as my triangle STU. Okay. S had a coordinate of 2, 5, and T had a coordinate of 5, -2, and U had a coordinate of -1, -6. Find the coordinates of the centroid they are asking. To find that, first we will need to find one of the midpoints. So let me take this particular point. I'll find this centroid is nothing but its connecting vertex, its connection of all the medians. It's a point of intersection of all the medians. So if I have a median from S to UT, and that same way I have one more median from U to ST, and if I have one more median from T to SU, the point of intersection, this becomes the centroid. We use different color. Let me call this centroid as C. I want the coordinates of this particular C centroid. For that, let's get two lines at the point of intersection of that will work. So for example, if this is -1, -6, and this is 5, -2. The coordinates of this are nothing but the midpoint of these two. 5 plus -1 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Because midpoint formula says take the average of the x values and average of the y values. Average of x value is nothing but 5 plus -1 divided by 2. which gives us 2. And negative 6 plus negative 2 is nothing but negative 8 divided by 2 gives us negative 4. So 2 comma negative 4 are the coordinates of this particular point. And we are trying to get this particular coordinate of the centroid. For that, the easiest way is you just find the distance from S all the way till this particular point. Let me call this as midpoint as L. So distance SL. You can use distance formula and find the distance SL. This is 2 comma 5. This is 2 comma negative 4. Square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, which is 5 minus minus 4 whole square. And if I take a square root of that, 5 minus 4 is 9, 9 square. I'll get, these two will be 0 square. So I'll have 0 square plus 9 square. And taking square root, I'll have only 9 as this particular distance, SL. And SC is going to be 2/3 of SL. And CL is going to be 1/3 of SL. You know that. The distance of SC is such that it is 2/3 of SL. To find SE, I don't have the coordinates of C. I don't have the coordinates of the centroid. But I'm pretty sure as this is 2 and this is also 2, the x coordinate. The centroid will have the x coordinate as 2, but the y coordinate is the one which is missing. You can call it as y and then find the distance. So first of all, let's see what is the SC value. SC is going to be 2/3 of SL was 9 because we found SL is 9. So I get SC equals 3 times 3 is 9, so 3, I can cross this out in this manner, and 3 times 2 is 6. So SC is 6 units. And now I can apply distance formula and then find the coordinates of this particular centroid. The coordinates of this centroid is nothing but x and y. But the x value is going to be same as S and L because they are in the straight line. If this is 2, here also the x coordinate has to be 2. So I can call this as 2. Comma y, and we can use distance formula from S and C and find the y coordinate. So take SC is nothing but square root of 2 minus 2 whole square plus y minus 5 whole square. So here I had 6 equals square root of y minus 5 whole square. So I'll end up getting y minus 5 equals plus or minus 6 because there is a square root. There are two possibilities. Y minus 5 is plus or minus 6. So first time you take y minus 5 equals 6. The other time you take y minus 5 equals negative 6. You add 5 on both sides, you get y equals 1. You add 5 on both sides, you'll get y equals negative 1. Oh sorry, here I'll get 11, right? Add 5 on both sides, 6 plus 5 is 11. Here if I add 5, I get y equals negative 1. I can say that negative 1 lies between negative 4 and negative 4 and positive 5. Negative 1 lies between that, but not this one. So therefore the correct coordinate is negative 1, y coordinates. And the final answer is going to be 2 comma negative 1. The coordinates of the centroid. Okay. Just keep working problems. There are few problems which may require more attention and more concepts. There are few problems which are easy. In case you have any questions, doubts, or you need my help, please text me via chat or Teams. I'll be happy to help during this class period. Okay, you have rest of the class time to continue working asynchronously on the review.